Hi, I'm Austin. I'm Nikia's son. I just want to talk a little bit about the effect that benzo's had on my life. It started at a young age. I got put on antidepressants. One of my best friends died from congenital heart failure, and it really messed me up, for being so young, and I didn't know how to take it. I was lashing out, smoking weed, hanging out with people I shouldn't have. And my mom was just trying to help me and took me to go see somebody. They put me on Zoloft and trazodone and everything else, and the effects hurt so bad I wanted it to stop right then, that day. And after hanging out with my buddies, they were doing Xanax and Klonopin and a bunch of other stuff, and I decided to try out Xanax. And from the moment that it hit my system, I loved it. Everything about it. I was invincible. I could talk to anybody. My life just seemed great at that moment every time I took it. And I started to, I didn't mess with it real heavy. And then my junior year, I stopped worrying about school and just went to just smoking weed and doing pills all day, every day. I'd leave school early. I wouldn't go to school. I'd tell my mom, hey, I missed a class, and that's why they're calling you. I was there all day, I promise. And even at school, I would snort pills in the bathroom. I'd snort pills on my desk with a bunch of people. It really affected my school life, and I didn't care anything about school. I didn't want anything to do with it. The only reason I was there was to make, my family happy that I was, staying in, doing my stuff. And senior year, I got called into the principal's office. There was a teacher that seen me sniffing pills in class, and I was snorting Klonopin, and I was snorting pain pills all at the same time. And they brought me in, they searched me. I had been selling pills at the time too, and they found $1,500 on me. And they called my mom up to the school. The school cop had me into the office, and they told me, that I was going to get expelled because they had caught me sniffing pills, and that I shouldn't have had that much money on me, and there was no reason I had that much money on me at school. So they expelled me, and I just, every day that I woke up after that, it was just depression, because I knew right then I wasn't going to graduate. If I wanted to graduate, I had to go back to school the next year and try it all over again, and I didn't want to do that. That just made me really depressed inside, that I couldn't, finish school like everybody else. I wanted to be like everybody else, and I started using a lot more, and I couldn't hold a job down, because every time I had a job, I was getting so high at work. I was nodding off, passing out. So I decided that it would be a good idea to start robbing people and stealing and breaking into places, just to make sure that I had enough money the next day to have my next fix. And I was 17, just turned 18, and I went to my first rehab. It was BS. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to be there. I just wanted to make my parents think that I was doing all right. I knew as soon as when I left, I was going to get high again, and that's what I did. I came back home. The next day, I was smoking weed, and then a week later, I was back on the pills. In June of 2015, I broke into 3 different houses and raided the med cabinets, raided safes, everything. And a week later, I had detectives at my door, and they busted in, 5 of them with guns, and I was upstairs asleep, and they came in, they asked me my name, and they told me to get up and get dressed and put my hands behind my back. So they brought me in, and my mom was hysterical. And I asked them if I could use the bathroom. So I went up to the bathroom, and they unlocked one hand, and I had Klonopin in my pants pocket. And I remember reaching down in my pocket trying to pop these pills, and they fell all over the ground. And the cop came in and was like, "Pull your pants up, let's go. You're going to jail." And even in my last moments, I was trying to just get those pills in me. And went to jail, spent a couple months in there. They ended up charging me with 3 different burglaries, nighttime burglaries. And that really messed my life up, like, a lot, because I realized that was my, what I thought was my rock bottom. And afterwards, I took a plea. I went to a rehab for 90 days. I came home, got on a bracelet, did my time on a bracelet, and I was clean off Xanax for about 1.5 years, and I hit parole. I paroled off, and the second week, first couple weeks into parole, I thought everything was golden. I was going to meetings. I didn't want to be there, but I decided I could use Xanax again. You know, I'll be all right. It's been a long while. I won't have those same, you know, tendencies. And I used one night, and after that, I got that feel back. And I woke up 2 weeks later, and I was strung out. And then after 3 weeks, I overdosed in the back of my car, and my whole life just crumbled. Lost my job, lost my car, went back to jail. My mom seen me overdose yet again, and it was awful. It ruined my life again. And I was sitting in jail, and when I walked in jail, Xanax, I've been put in jail so many times over being high on Xanax, doing stupid stuff. When I walked into the jail, I had people like, "Hey, there he is," and that's not a good feeling. I mean, I'm 21 years old. At the time, I was 20. I mean, it's just to walk into a jail and people know who you are and why you're there. It's not a fun feeling. And I stayed in there for 30 days, just, you know, hanging out. And I realized, I woke up and I was just like, I'm done. I literally hit the point where I'm done. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to do this. I don't want to walk into somewhere that's, you know, not somewhere I should be in the first place, and people know who I am and why I'm there. And I didn't want people to think that I was, you know, a bad person anymore. I just wanted to be a whole different me. So I decided to file an agreement to go to a rehab down in southern Florida. And man, it was such a beautiful place. And it wasn't the best program, but it wasn't about the place where I was at. It was what I wanted to get out of it to save my own life. And I was there 30 days, and some people that doesn't work, but for me, I had been through it before, and I was tired of it. I was done. And I got home, I got a sponsor, I was in the rooms, and for the first time in my life, I found comfort in those rooms of AA, NA, Heroin's Anonymous, everything. I went to try out every room that I could, because, you know, even though I may have not done these, you know, certain drugs, it helped with my addiction. It helped me, because people knew where, if you do heroin, 90% of the time you do Xanax as well. So people understood, you know, where I was coming from when I said I lost everything in 3 weeks. And I just found a fellowship in heroin, you know, HA, and I started going to meetings, and then there was a facility that I found that